How you guys doing today? This is Mike Hudson, along with my co-host Greg Trainer. We're blessed to be doing some podcasting again, and we've got Mr. Christopher Allen with us today. Wanted to be able to chat it up and introduce you guys to a gentleman that I've had the pleasure of meeting, and he's one of those phenoms. I've got a little bit of beard envy, and he's always on the go. But Christopher, how you doing today, sir?
Doing good, man. How are you guys doing?
Good,
Doing
good,
well.
good, good.
Just
Man, tell us a little bit about who Christopher is. I know you're down in South Georgia, man, and
uh,
I couldn't hear you. You cut out.
I'm in North Georgia.
North Georgia. That's my bad, dude. My
Yeah.
bad. But
Uh,
tell us
I,
a little bit about you, man, and your injury, and just a little bit about your day to day.
gotcha. Yeah. 49 years old. Uh, have spina bifida. No injury, but I was born with spina bifida.
Right.
For a while, I could walk, but had a real bad limp. Just started using crutches and been in the chair now about almost 20 years.
Right. Just progressive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what I know it was probably a tough decision to go away from crutches and go to the chair, but what benefit do you see out of doing that?
Man, I ain't falling on my face every 5 minutes.
Sometimes that's what it's about. We nothing is perfect when we're doing the things we do. It's not ideal. We didn't volunteer for it, but here it is. We push forward daily, and we find ways to push on. And man, I tell you, when I bumped into you in Nashville, and you had that chair growing, dude, it was all I could do to keep up with you. And here you are in a manual, and I'm in a power chair. And I was like, dude, Christopher's got it going on, man. He must have mastered this thing.
It didn't take me too many bumps on my head before I got it going right.
Right.
But
You, man, I've been keeping up with the new builds and stuff you're doing on some turkey stuff. Um, are you going with mostly pot calls, or I said something to you about box calls. I didn't know if you were going to eventually get into that, or you staying straight friction.
yeah, right now I'm just doing friction. I've got all my equipment set up to do friction. Box calls are really cool though. Just like it's more of an art, man. It's like one maybe one day I'll learn to do it, but
Right.
right now I'm just trying to focus on these pot calls and hopefully take some up to Nashville and enter them in the contest up there.
You actually going to try to get into some of the call up there with them, or I know it's a lot of qualifying stuff, man. To get to Nashville.
No, I mean, I've been to a few contests and I'm, just using my own calls, but I'm not the best caller in the world. But they have the contest for pot calls and, the different kinds of calls up there. They judge your calls, how they're
Right.
made. So I think you can enter, I think there's 3 or 4 different divisions you can enter. And I'm going to try to enter 2 in every division. So at
Right.
least maybe come home with a novice or something.
Hey, man, like you said, it's an artwork. Your stuff looks pristine, and we all got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Um, you got the shirt to represent the right stuff. You got the KT team right down in South Georgia, and those guys, man, you cannot beat a better team if you can get KT to listen to those calls. That dude's ear is spot on.
Oh man, me and KT, we had a really good turkey hunt last season. Yeah, I made him a real nice call and put a feather in the brass from the hole in it for him. And
Right.
man, just took it to him and let him play it. Man, it was amazing to hear my call sound like that.
Right. It's one of those things people don't understand when you get to go in there with a master, somebody that's super humble. The guy is giving
Yeah.
of his time. He is it's like walking through the Super Bowl with a Super Bowl quarterback, you know?
I,
But
and go going on that hunt with him, I mean, it was like a dream, man. I mean, when you see like you get to hunt with somebody you've looked up to, you know.
Yeah. And the kicker is dude is beyond humble. You know,
Oh
he never says anything about himself. It's always about what he can do for everyone else.
yeah, I mean, the whole hunt was about me, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
and I was glad to be there with him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Tell us a little bit about your company that you just started up, man, and your logo wear. I love that new design on your hat.
It is an idea I came up with. Limitless Outdoors. It's most, I've been trying to do a little filming of myself hunting. That's not going so great, but just kind of get that name out there and let people realize that, man, there are no limits to what you can do if you put your mind to it.
Right. And that's you hit the nail on the head. Me and Greg, um, we've talked about this before. The only really disability is a closed-minded disability.
Oh,
If you've got I like to say if where there's a will, there's a way, and it's WHEEL. Um, all we got to do is figure out a new way to push forward.
yeah,
And
man.
I love that idea, man. Limitless outdoors, absolutely. Let's get it.
And there's everybody needs help too, man. So don't be afraid to ask for help. I know, so for a long time I didn't want no help. I can do it. Just let me do it. But man, that help really helps.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like the making the transition from the crutches. You were falling all the time. You were spending a lot of energy trying to walk alone because some people are resistant to using a wheelchair. But if you look at a wheelchair as a tool, you have so much more energy. You're able to get around a lot faster. You see it for what it is assistive technology, a tool, rather than something to be feared. Um, I know whenever I first seen my power wheelchair, I used to hate to look at it, but now I see it as a means to mobility to get me out in the world, to enable me, to allow me to do things, Christopher. And, you know, when you said we all need help, sometimes we need some technology help, to get us out and about.
For sure, man. I mean, it's like people ask me, what, since you're in that wheelchair and you don't walk no more, what's the difference? I was like, the only difference is I can't go up steps no more. And I was never really great at that. Man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it hasn't slowed me down, man.
Yeah. You hit the nail on the head, man. We're no island. All of us need help at some point. When we learn to humble ourselves a little bit, that's where we seem to step out. You made mention that you were having some trouble filming stuff. Is it the way that you're doing it? Is it just not having the animals come in as well, or what are you saying?
It's just a little bit of everything. I mean, I've never done it before, and this is my first year trying, so I'm just using my phone to film with, and just get I don't know, just deciding what's right to film and what's not right to film, and
Right. Well, it's like anything else. Greg said it just a minute ago. You did as well. It's about finding that piece of equipment and then, really honing it in. Everything's personalized,
yeah.
whether it's chair or firearm or anything else. We can find a piece of equipment, use a piece of equipment, but until we get it where it's just pristine for us, everybody's going to give you their insight. Everybody likes the armchair quarterback. I have no doubt, man, that you'll figure out your niche, and that's to me that's the ultimate, right? Being able
Yeah.
to get a wheelchair close to an animal, whether we take the animal or not, just getting our chairs close to them, and
Oh,
then if we self film, dude, that's awesome.
yeah. I've got a spot behind my house where I hunt. This guy lets me hunt a little farm back here, and I've got several clips of deer coming in and everything, and it's within 15, 20 yards. So I mean, to me, even if I don't get one, for a guy in a wheelchair that drug his old butt down through the woods to get there, and I'm getting 15 yards close to a deer. It's not smelling me. It's not
Right.
busting me. I'm doing a
Right.
good job.
Dude, that's a win-win. That's the kicker too. I've talked to guys that are professional hunters, and these guys are using all kind of scent cover up and this and that. We're in our everyday chairs.
Uh-huh.
We can't get the stink off of those things. They are with us all day, every day. There's only so much we can mask on that.
Uh-huh. I mean, you got every smell in the world on that thing sitting there.
Right. And
That's a,
Me and Greg using power chairs. There's a lots of clicks and pops and noises these things make, and we're kind of limited in what we can do. We can just do what we can do, but
Yeah.
the fact that you're not giving up, limitless, you're still pushing forward. Man, I give you kudos, dude. And that's not a pat on the back for sympathy. That's a true on keep crushing, man.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. I mean, that's what I've always said. What are you going to do? Sit on the couch? I mean, just
Right.
watch the world go by.
when you're talking about getting out in nature, Mike and I have said this all the time. It's not all ADA accessible, so we're dragging our chairs out there. Then you're asking an animal to, you know, comply or to read the script and show up on time and let you have your phone out and everything. Self filming is very, very difficult. I mean, they make it look pretty easy on TV, but when we're actually out there doing it by ourselves, if everything comes together and you get that video, that's an amazing thing. But it's definitely not easy, Christopher. You know that for sure.
Yeah, because everything's clanging into your metal chair, and I mean,
Right.
everything just has to be line up, man. It's
And you're trying to take the shot.
yeah,
I'm nervous trying to get my crosshairs on something and trying to film something at the same time.
yep. That's how. I mean, it's really hard.
That's it's one of those things, guys. We make laugh of it, and we're making light of it. Hunting anything, especially on film, is difficult for me, man, because I've been with some guys that film, and they're like, "Oh man, we need more footage. We need more footage. We need more film." And I'm thinking, dude, it's all I can do to get my crosshairs on this thing. I'm not waiting any longer. I'm letting it flow.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's it's
Anyway,
real it's real funny you say that, Mike, because my wife, films a lot of my things for me, and we've gone on quite a number of hunts, and she's already just shaking her head because she knows as soon as it's in my crosshairs and I got a shot anymore, I'm not waiting anymore because if that animal moves or gets out of my zone, I'm all done for the day. So whenever I can take the shot, I don't wait for the okay anymore. I let it go.
Yeah. Well, Christopher, man, what all do you do as far as your calls? Tell us a little bit about those. You've been doing pretty good on sales, or you donating, or what? I mean, what are you doing right now to try to get your name out there?
I have sold quite a few. Mostly, it's just been word of mouth. I've donated several to different things. Trying to get my name out. Mostly, it's been just like in the community here, and just I made a few hats and some shirts and gave some of those out, and
Right.
set up a couple booths a couple times. I mean, just trying to get it out there.
Right. Everything's grassroots, man. We live in a great age of technology right now. We got social media, and that's really why I wanted to have you on here, man, is to talk a little bit about the calls and the stuff you got going on. Man, I check your calls out all the time, and those things are phenomenal. I'm not just saying it; they're absolutely beautiful. And then to think of a guy in a chair, taking extra time to say, I can buy a call, but why buy a call when I can tinker on it myself and try to make it sound like the animal?
Yeah, I mean, it's just something. I don't know. I've just always really liked custom calls, and I was like, man, I know I could do that. And it's like I told a good buddy of mine, it's like I'm never going to be the best turkey hunter. I'm never going to be the best deer hunter. But if I'm building these calls and enter them in contests, we're all on the same level.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
nobody's equal there.
Right. And man, that gives more credence to what we're doing. You're taking the time to try to masterfully design a piece of wood to fake and not fake, but to fool an animal that's his defense,
Yeah.
right? And people don't get that. We got a lot of able-bodied guys say, "Man, I don't know how you guys can't get any closer to those animals." Try it from a sitting standpoint, and
Yeah.
it's a whole different ball game when you start adding the disability stuff in.
Yeah.
And but that's no excuse.
Yeah. I mean, you're trying to get an animal that doesn't want to come to you to begin with, and we can't get it. So I mean, you're almost doing something impossible.
Right. Right. But that's the defining part of our limits, right? We try to
Yeah.
find those obstacles out there and redefine them. And that's part of our living. That's our day to day. And
Yeah.
so we just add to it.
I actually last season my calls did were responsible for about 4 birds being taken, so that was pretty cool. Jake from Jeb's Choke, I'm sorry, not Jeb's Chokes, but Kicks Chokes. He
Yeah.
took a bird. He took a bird with one of my calls. I took my first out of state Alabama bird with one of my calls, and we got my wife her bird, her first bird with one of my calls.
Well, I mean,
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, getting there, man.
Yeah. I couldn't hear you, Greg.
Well, I just said that's awesome. At the very beginning, he said, "Well, I'm not a very good turkey caller." I thought, man, you haven't heard me. And how many times are you out hunting? You think, man, that guy can't call for anything, and it's an actual bird. So,
Yeah,
you know, turkey sounds totally different in the wild than what you see on TV sometimes, or what you think a turkey sounds like. And you're trying to mimic those calls. It ain't easy, man. It ain't easy.
yeah,
Right. What I know you're a busy guy, man, and really we just wanted to touch base with you, get your name out there a little bit, be able to chat with you. You been able to do any deer hunting this year yet, or what's your plans?
yeah, man. I've done a little bit of bow hunting already, and man, I shot a real nice 8 pointer, but we just couldn't find it. I got it. I actually got the shot on video, and we had good blood. We looked, and my buddy, he tracked it for about, man, I'm guessing 500 yards, and it bled and bled and bled, and then the blood just stopped. So I mean, it's kind of disappointing, but I mean, you think about it. I mean, I was right there and got that close to it, and was able to do it, man. I mean, so
Right. And
just
just for some of the listeners, they hear the terminology blood and they get all jazzed up. Nobody makes a shot that they wanted to be unethical. I mean, you probably made a phenomenal shot. These animals are built to survive.
yeah,
It doesn't matter. You could hit them with a car and these things still run off and survive.
yeah. I mean, it's like I said, I don't it. I got the shot on video, and the shot looked good, and it just, I don't know what happened. Disappointing, but that, I guess that's bow hunting.
What all you got going on for the rest of this season? I know hunting's, just getting started good in Georgia. You got any hunts coming up?
Yeah, well, rifle season starts here this weekend, so hopefully I'll be out on that, and I'm going to try to get a bear this year. Got a spot out not too far from here. We're going to do a little bear hunting, and the week of Halloween I'll be down with the KT team do hunting down there,
Yeah.
and mostly just hunt around here, man. Hopefully, maybe take my wife to get her first deer. We'll, just take a couple of people here and there with me and see how it goes.
There you go. You're going to be filming, I hope, on all these and just keep
Oh,
tinkering with it.
yeah, we actually got my wife's turkey on film when she killed it back in the spring.
That's awesome, dude. If you will, give us a plug in on where people can come and see your calls. Know a little bit more about the company you're starting.
Yeah, you could check them out on. I usually post them as I build them. I've got my Instagram page there, and I believe it's under it's Limitless Outdoors. I think it's Limitless_outdoors on Instagram, or you could look up my name, Christopher Alen King. I usually post on there as they're coming along. If anybody's interested in a call, I'll be glad to make them one, ship it out to you. Got a few hats and a few shirts that I could
Absolutely.
get going.
Absolutely. I'll definitely make sure we put a tag in. I'll link a tag at the end of all this. Um, Man, Greg, you got anything?
And I'm just really impressed with everything that Christopher's doing, and I can't wait to hear more. I'm going to follow along, and really, it's a blessing that we're able to do all this stuff. That Christopher's doing everything he can. He's reaching out to people, making calls for people the best he can, and I know that they're custom made, so I'm excited for it.
And man, I like watching everything you guys are doing. You guys are doing it too, man.
Hey, you hit the nail on the head earlier when you said limitless outdoors, right? We gotta redefine those limits. That's the whole crux with everything we're doing, right? Whether it's our nonprofit, it's accessible hunter, it's Roar Outdoors. It doesn't matter what the name is behind it. It's just redefining those limitations. You
Yeah.
know, Greg said it earlier. The outdoors are not accessible. We're trying to redefine those things and just finding new ways to do it, man. And I appreciate you taking extra time out of your busy day to come on and tell us a little bit about all you got going on. I don't say that lightly when I say, man, I truly appreciate what you're doing and your continued push. I really want to get one of your calls, dude. So I'm gonna be in touch with you when we get done. Um, Man, those things are phenomenal. Just keep doing what you're doing.
And I appreciate it. Yeah, and
Absolutely.
I mean, like I said, I really like watching what you guys are doing. You guys are going at it.
We appreciate it, Christopher. We enjoy talking with people around the country, and one of the great things is we get to talk with people like yourself every week and learn about your story and what you're doing. And really, man, that just means a lot to me. I mean, seeing what people are doing throughout the country brings a lot of joy to my life.
Yeah, it and when I first started hunting and stuff like that, I felt like I was the only disabled person that did it. And there wasn't really no internet back then, no Facebook or Instagram or even a podcast or anything like that. So it was like, man, I got to be the only guy out here doing this. And then you get to talking to other people, and man, there's a lot of people out there doing the same thing that we're doing, and they all got different ways of doing it too.
Right.
And it's really neat to
Social
see.
media is, I was going to say, social media is one of those great equalizers. I didn't mean to cut you off. It's one of those things, man. It's really brought a lot of people together, and it's not about one company, one nonprofit, one entity. It's about finding new ways, man, to figure out how to get people out. And what difference does it make what company does it? As long as we're getting people out of their heads and out of their homes, man, that's what we need to do. And we need to be partnering together in any avenue we can to find those ways, man. And, if there's anything I can ever do to help, man, don't hesitate to reach out.
Yeah, man, I kind of got a goal, and I don't really know how to go about it. Somebody like me, you, any of us like this, there's I don't really know how to say what I'm trying to say, but like a track chair for somebody in our situation, or somebody me, I'm not a veteran or anything like that.
Right.
There's really no avenue for somebody that can't afford one to get one when they're like in our situation. I'd like to figure out a way to be able to raise some money to donate one to somebody,
Right.
because I mean,
You
there's
know,
just
that
no.
that's the crux, man. That's the thing we fight all the time is trying to find new ways to get back out there and find things for blue collar guys. There are ways out there for veterans and stuff to be involved, but as far as a blue collar guy, grants, any of that, they're almost non-existent. Me and Greg, we've talked about this before. Me and Greg bought our chairs. I did get one through a veterans grant, and that was the first one I ever had. And we just kept it with the nonprofit, donated it so other people could use it. But at the same token, man, I wish insurance companies truly understood the independence those things offer, and advocacy. Dude, that's pretty much what I do all day, every day is advocate, trying to get people to understand how our tennis shoes, right? Our everyday chair are like our tennis shoes, and a track chair is just our work boots. It
Yeah.
allows us to back out independently and push forward with things we never would be able to do on our own.
Yeah. Like I've never used one, but I mean, they have to be like hiking boots. You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
and
I would love to. Go ahead, Christopher. I'm sorry.
I just feel like there's got to be a way to get people into them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Somebody that can't afford one, like I can't afford one, but there's got to be a way to help people to do it.
Well, I tell you what, man. I don't. I'll have to look and see what kind of distance we got between us. Um, I've got three here on the property. All three are different configurations. Let's me and you link up some kind of way, get you in them, let you try them out, see how we can do it, and we'll just go forward and see if we can figure out a way. Like you said, put butts in seats.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, man. I'd love to be a part of it.
Yeah, and I know Greg, man, he would agree. Those things, it's the difference in night and day. When I first got in mine, just the outdoor activities that they opened up. It's not just about going out hunting and shooting. It's about being free. It's
Yeah,
about doing it safely. That's the bigger kicker.
I mean, there ain't nothing like going across the yard and dumping yourself out on your face in your wheelchair because your front tire is dug in a hole somewhere.
Been there, done that, man.
I mean, it is what it is, but I mean, it's just something we deal with.
It's a day to day life of our injuries, man. Our ailments. It just is what it is.
Yep.
But I know you guys are busy. I don't want to keep you tied up. It's getting close to supper time, and man, Christopher, I truly appreciate you reaching out, taking extra time to be on here. I mean that wholeheartedly. I'm gonna reach out to you about a call, but two, I really want to link up, man, and let you try out these track chairs. See what you like. I'm not a track chair salesman by any means. I have multiple different types. Would love for you to try them. My thing is, there's different types, different type chairs for everybody. Come try them out and pick your element for yourself. Pick your poison, if you will.
Yeah, I need to come up there and shoot on your archery range that you got going on up
Man,
there.
you got an open invite anytime, brother.
Look
Christopher,
forward.
it was very nice meeting you today, man. I love your story, and I can't wait to follow more about your calls, man. It was very nice of you to take the time to talk with us today.
I appreciate you guys reaching out to me and offering me to come on.
Absolutely. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I will tag up some links at the end of this thing, and we'll get it going as fast as we can. Christopher, man, truly appreciate you. Keep doing what you're doing, brother.